This is Pastor Russ, and I want to take a few moments to share with you the other three C's. Now, there's another video called 3 C's where I talk about character, competency, and chemistry. These are very important to be a leader and as a part of your team that you lead. But the principle I want to share with you comes from a quote from another senior pastor who said, if you regularly check in with leaders, they will rarely check out. And the more you check in, the better you communicate and you work with. The more often, the frequency of your connection with your team and the people around you only strengthens your position as a leader, and it strengthens your team. So let me tell you what the other three C's are. They are caring, they are clarity, and then it's communication. Let's talk about caring here for a minute. Staying in constant contact with the people on your team communicates to them that you care. Weekly check-ins, a text, a phone message, an email, a video like this for 30 seconds, just send it to them. Anything, but all you want to do is you want to ask, first of all, how are you doing? What's going on? Anything I can pray with you about? And then the other thing you want to ask is, what can I do to help you be more successful? That's important because they'll give you ideas that will actually help them be successful. Things you can do in order to lift them up. Now, here's some other questions that you can also ask. What hope group are you attending? How are you growing in your relationship with Jesus? We're all about leading people to a new life in Christ, and that's what we do as leaders, and that's everybody. Everybody gets a new life in Christ every day, and we want them to experience it. So you want to encourage them to level up in their relationship with Christ. If you see them kind of holding and they're stagnant and you're not hearing any chatter or any stories about what God is doing in their life, you need to have a talk with them. We do a lot of YouVersion devotionals around here. I suggest you do the same thing with your team. You ask them to download the app and connect with Faith Family Worship Center and to also connect with you. But the reality is that we want them to be able to be a part of the ministry, be part of the team. Believe me, there's a lot to choose from on YouVersion that you will be able, that's relevant to your team, as I've shared with you some things, and you can also continue to build your team up that way. Clarity is the second one. Consistency is the platform for clarity. So if you're consistent in caring, you can be clear. Infrequent interaction will create weak teams. Giving them too much space to do whatever destroys themselves and the team. Clarity is power. You just got to understand it. You've got to be as clear as possible. If you're going to say something, think about it, then pare it down to about half that size, and if it's still too long, edit it again until you're absolutely get. When people get it, they do it. When they get it, they do it. And if their people are not doing it, it's because they're not getting it. And you need to think about how you are communicating your message. It may sound like you're taking a risk to sound like a broken record, but that's exactly what you want to do. You want to say it again and again and again until they'll say, you're saying this again? Whenever you hear the complaint, you know you're just getting started in instilling these values into them. You want to ask clarifying questions like, do you understand? Can you do this? What is our goal here? You want to ask questions to make sure that they understand that you're both on the same page. Third is communication. Having a monthly team meeting isn't just about the next job or the next project. It's all about asking better questions. How you can ask, how do you see the shape of the future of our ministry, of our team? Where's it going? Or how can we be more effective and more efficient at the same time? You want to ask questions that get them to think about making improvements, not only in themselves, but in the ministry and the team. You can also determine the best method of communication for your team. But here's what I suggest. You find one that's generally acceptable and then stick to that one. You don't want to be having to email these three, text those two, call this one, send smoke signals to that one. It'll drive you crazy. Believe me, I've done it. So you find one, you can use apps like Slack or Telegram. Maybe everybody texts, so you can text them, and maybe you got one that, that all they do is email. Okay, fine, you're going to get that one, but you want everybody in the conversation. So encourage everybody to be in the conversation for communication to happen. Find something in common, hold your ground, stick to it, get everybody on board with it. That's so important. Don't waste your time doing all of these other things. The more frequent you share a clear vision, the more aligned they will become, the faster they will personally grow, which means the church will grow faster. So let me say it to you again. The more frequent you share a clear vision, the more aligned they become with it, they will grow faster personally, which causes the church to grow also.